Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Nicole Smith, and my site, BTB Math, is here to help the non math person become a math confident person. When I returned to college for a bachelor's degree more than a decade after graduating high school, I knew I needed to review some old topics to succeed in college. That's what I'm here to do today. Let you know which old topics you would see on a college or community college placement test for math. The topics in this video are the topics seen in the nationally used AccuPlacer test. They are topics colleges consider to be foundational for college math. Let's jump in so you can get more comfortable with what you will see on the test. The AccuPlacer placement test is a self-adjusting test. It will give you different problems to test each skill and will not proceed to a deeper skill unless you show proficiency on the prior skills. You may see different types and numbers of questions depending on your performance during the test. The exam has three test/slash components: arithmetic, quantitative reasoning, algebra and statistics, and advanced algebra and functions. Each math component has its own subtopics which will be tested. You can use a four function calculator, which appears on the screen for questions where a calculator is allowed. The first component is arithmetic. Most people think of arithmetic as the basic skills of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing whole numbers. These skills will be covered, but there are also topics you may not consider to be arithmetic. The subtopics tested in the arithmetic section are whole numbers and operations, decimal operations, percentages, number comparisons and equivalents, and fraction operations. I will show examples of questions under each subtopic after we look at the subtopics for other components of the test. Our next section is quantitative reasoning, algebra, and statistics. Don't let the title of this component scare you. Quantitative reasoning is basically your ability to read, understand, and apply math knowledge in different contexts. Algebra usually deals with problems which have at least one variable, such as x or y. And statistics, well, statistics deals with analyzing large groups of data and drawing inferences or conclusions from the data. Are you ready? The following subtopics appear on the quantitative reasoning, algebra, and statistics tests: rational numbers, geometry concepts, linear applications and graphs, ratio and proportional relationships, and algebraic expressions. I will show you examples of these types of problems in just a moment. Our last component is advanced algebra and functions. This section usually includes the "we didn't learn that when I went to school" problems. Let me give some context here. When I attended high school, way back in the 1900s, students could be placed on a college prep track or a career/slash technical track. College prep students took math classes like Algebra 2, trigonometry, and calculus. Students on the technical track took courses like consumer math or quantitative reasoning. It's possible that many of us did not learn these skills in high school, while some of us did. It's okay if you didn't learn it in high school, and it's okay if you learned in high school but forgot it. What matters is your decision to make a change. Here is a list of subtopics covered on the advanced algebra and functions component: linear applications and graphs, factoring, radical and rational equations, linear equations, trigonometry, functions, polynomial equations, and exponential and logarithmic equations. Whew! Now we're ready to take a look at example problems from all of the subtopics we have listed for each component. Get your pencil ready. First, we have whole number operations and decimal operations. Questions in red are questions where you cannot use a calculator. For questions where a calculator is allowed, a four function calculator will appear on the computer screen. That means you cannot use a graphing calculator even if you bring your own. Pause if you need to take a closer look. Next, you'll see examples of problems under the subtopics of percentages, fraction operations, and number comparisons and equivalents. As you can see, you're able to use the calculator on most of these question types. Here are examples of the types of problems seen in the rational numbers and geometry concept subtopics. You're allowed to use a calculator on most of them. For linear equations and graphs, you can see we're looking for a clear understanding of how to graph lines and how to understand the context of a problem through the graph of a line. For algebraic expressions and ratio and proportional relationships, all of the example problems are problems on which you can use a simple calculator. Now let's look at linear equations and graphs. All of these equations are calculator allowed questions. The first question is a linear equations problem. The other problems deal with quadratic functions, a major topic in college level math. Next, you will see examples of factoring and trigonometry problems. You will notice that the rest of the problem types we see from here on allow you to use a calculator. It will be a four-function calculator with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. For radical equations, you want to be sure to understand the exponent rules and how fraction exponents relate to radicals. Rational equations deal with problems that have a fraction with a polynomial in the numerator and denominator. Here are some examples of more geometry questions, this time with images and diagrams. Lastly, here are examples of problems which fall under the functions, polynomial equations, and exponential/logarithmic equations subtopic. Thank you so much for watching my video and staying until the end. I have a free gift to help you navigate the world of college entrance and confronting math with confidence. Click the link below to get a free quiz to test how well you know the topics on the math placement exam. You'll have a chance to review the problems you missed and see common mistakes after the quiz. Also, don't forget to like and let me know in the comments what else I should talk about as you prepare to go to college. You can be proud of yourself for taking that leap. You've got this.